continue on my computer. Okay, good. Was recording. Okay, it's recording.
Yeah.
Okay, please, you can take it. Okay, can I start with the minutes?
Okay, yeah, start. Come bring her in. Start right away.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oraukwu Hospital Project Committee meeting. The meeting started by 7:40 p.m. Nigerian time on the 4th of July 2020 with an opening prayer said by Dr. Sylvester Eje. The minute was read by pharmacist Oraukwu, after which everyone thanked her for a job well done. Mr. Patrick Angona asked for corrections and there was none. He then called for adoption of the minutes, which was moved by Dr. Ikeme and seconded by Dr. Sylvester Eje. Mr. Patrick Angona projected that the meeting would be brief as the day was 4th of July. Thus, everyone needs to be able to celebrate with their families. He then asked Mr. Sondu Gochku to brief the House on his findings at the Oraukwu hospital he visited. Mr. Sondu Gochku said he visited the hospital on Tuesday, 30th June, and was dismayed at the dilapidated situation of the hospital. Most of the equipment and hospital beds were in shambles and scattered everywhere. He then called Professor Anisoba, informing him that the dilapidated state of the hospital has to be worked on for the inspection team to approve of the registration. To that effect, Mr. Sondu Gochku donated a new generator set to the hospital. He was applauded by everyone for his kind gesture. He further mentioned that the following things still need to be put in place at the hospital. 1, the electrical wiring has to be improved on, as substandard wires were used and some were observed to have melted out and needs replacing. 2, the plumbing aspect has to be worked on, as some of the sinks and toilets do not have water flowing through them. 3, outlining/labeling of the various rooms at the hospital and putting things in place, such as the labs, the pharmacy, theater, etc. Mr. Sondu Gochku further proposed that a contractor should be hired to aid in getting these things done, in alliance with a working committee that would include co-opted young pharmacists and doctors to join us in ensuring that everything is put in place before inspection. Mr. Patrick Angona thanked him after his report and concurred that the hospital needs maintenance, just like every other building. 2 contractors, Onwasan Shedrack and one from Professor Anisoba, that was referred from Professor Anisoba, were proposed to evaluate the work to be done at the hospital and present their quotation to the House to decide who gets to do the work. Professor Anisoba supported all that Mr. Sondu Gochku said in his report and proposed that Dr. Ugo Chukwulobelu and Dr. Chukwuma be co-opted into the working committee. He further informed the House that Dr. Ugo Chukwulobelu is now the doctor in charge of hospital registration, and as such, it can help us to speed up the process. This was accepted by all as a welcomed development.
Frozen.
She's gonna come back.
Yeah, I think you kind of technology for one step ahead. Okay. I continue.
Well, it's posted, so
Huh?
everybody can read. Everybody can read through this.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I felt
Okay.
that she can just summarize this.
Okay. Good. Okay. So Or you all want me to go ahead and read through it?
Yeah, go ahead, finish up.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Larry Ezani. I couldn't see the other one, but for his report and presented that Mr. Shedrack Onwasanya has always been known to be good as a contractor with years of experience and can be able to speed things up. Mr. Angona was of the opinion that Mr. Sondu Gochuku should continue discussion with the contractor from Professor Anis about why Odua discussed with Mr. Shedrack, after which the house will decide who will do the work based on experience, availability, and cost. This was supported by Dr. Tony Ikeme. Professor Wuchekwe said that we also need to know the time frame before the inspection from Professor Anisoba so as to know which of the contractors can work and give us result within the time frame. Professor Anisoba proposed that the contractor will be asked to visit the hospital at different times to inspect it and know what is expected regarding time frame and cost. He also inquired about the renovation funds. Dr. Eje was one of the opinion that we need to renovate the hospital and get it done with fast. Thus, either Oba does it speedily without dragging things, or Odua can come in and speed up the renovation process. Mr. Patrick Yangman stated that since the account has been opened, we need to decide how to fund it. Mr. Sondu Gochuku stated that the account is ready for use as he has to put in some fund to test run it, of which he received credit alert. He further, but this one blocked my screen cover account such that the renovation can be funded from there instead of waiting for one group to do it alone. Regarding the contractors, he promised to invite them next week to inspect the hospital with them individually at different times. Dr. Mary Nduagawa appreciates all in their efforts, and that while the contractors are inspecting the hospital, it will be good to get Oba to make their donation. Input fast, so that things can be speed up. Otherwise, although I need to move fast without waiting for Oba, as soon as the contractor give the quotation to meet up the time frame for the registration. Attorney Patrick Okeke was of the opinion that it is very necessary that things are done properly and not hastily so that we don't have a hospital that falls below standard in facilities. Dr. Eje supported his idea and asked Mr. Sondu Gochuku to please ask the contractor to ensure that they use good and standard materials to get everything done properly such that we do not keep going back to renovations. Architect Larry Ezani opined that we also need the original plan of the hospital to get things right as to identify the rooms / location for the labs, pharmacy, and the wards, etc. Dr. Eje and Dr. Mendo Agova also stated that we should endeavor to use personnel that has and applies standard building codes. Mr. Patrick Yangna replied that though Nigeria does not have building law codes as it is obtainable in Western country, contractors still, the other one covered, for the hospital. Okay, in Nigeria, Professor Anishoba replied that such writing accepted. He also informed the House that he has a copy of the hospital plan with him. Mr. Sonduguch.
Okay.
Mr. Sandu Gochukwu then asked Professor Anishoba to fix a meeting for the working committee, so as soon as the hospital to inspect the as soon as possible to inspect the hospital and streamline everything with either of the contracts. Professor Anishoba said that he will do so through, though it wouldn't prevent the contractor from visiting the hospital individually to put in their findings. Dr. John Ugonabo greeted all and pointed out that the only problem he sees is that Efi Hanalahanago, and question what is really keeping the hospital from taking off, as we have all the resources to get it started. Mr. Sandu Gochukwu appreciates his opinion and further stressed that the most important thing is supervision. Thus, okay, somebody is coming in angry. Okay, she's coming in, so she can start on page. So, Angry, are you there?
I think it's Benedict Anosilva is coming in, not
Okay, let me continue until when she joins. Okay, Mr. Sandu Gochukwu appreciated his opinion and further stressed that the most important thing is supervision. Thus, the working committee has to be on ground to guide the contractors to commence work as to their directives. At this junction, Mr. Patrick Yangna projected the hospital image on the screen and inquired the kind of wiring that was used in the hospital. He was informed that it is conduit/internal wiring. Dr. AJ suggested that professionals be brought in to decide on what kind of wiring was used. He also appealed that there should be a means of getting the patients
to the first and second floor.
To the second floor, because my screen is cutting it off.
To the first and second floor.
Yeah.
They have not been put into consideration.
Okay, good. Dr. AJ,
Well, it's just discussing the ramp. That's all.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. For Professor Anishoba replied that surface wiring are accepted. He also informed the house that he has a copy of the hospital plan with him. Mr.
You are going back.
I'm going back. Okay.
Reverend Dr. Dimegwa should be the next line.
Reference Dr. Dimegwa. Where was it? Reverend Dr.
Page 6.
Okay, I got Dr. Dimegwa. Yeah, it was okay. My skin, every spirit is very vibrant, and urge all that the quality of the work should not be compromised because of time frame, so that we do not have standard building. He further stressed that buildings built 50 years ago are still in good shape. Thus,
Hello.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. You're back.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, we are going. We're on a.
Can you project one I sent?
Yeah, I've already projected it.
That's the last one I sent. The correct from the last one I sent, not the first one I sent to you.
Okay, the last one you sent to me. Okay, I didn't get it.
Okay. No, the group WhatsApp forum.
Okay, I'm not the dear.
Is it corrected?
You read this instead of me project. Can you go ahead and read it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Then
I don't know where did you stop. Yes, to shut that one down and project from the last one.
Okay.
Do I continue from where I stopped, or
Okay. Mbok, if you or could be able to
No.
Amazon
Just somewhere up. Just somewhere.
page 4. Page 4 can not
Page 6.
page 6. Yeah. Okay, page 6 can not.
Okay, page 6 or 5.
Yeah.
Page 6.
Reverend Dr.
On page 6, Mr. Patrick Angona thanked him for his comments and asked Mr. Sondu Gochukwu and Professor Anisuba that the ball is on their court to get things done and that we wouldn't mind having another meeting next week to get a feedback. He also said he will call Brother James Image to look into the funding of the accounts. Professor Buchekwe also suggested that maintenance personnel be hired to keep maintaining the hospital always. Pharmacist Stanley reminded all that the working committee should be set up.
Here we go again. Summarizing this thing is best. So we can go and read this in later.
And possibly 2 other members to be on ground at the hospital on a set date with the contractors at different times to deliberate and decide on what needs to be done and get it carried out properly, and not just to be having meetings after which everyone disperses. Professor Nisuba was asked to set a date for that meeting with the working committee at the hospital, probably on Thursday, 9th July, to get things started. Dr. Eje also asked if Mr. Sondu Gochukwu can reach out to Mr. Morgan or Ford to be in the working committee, as that would also help in getting things done. Due to poor network, my call dropped and I was not able to reconnect to the end of the meeting. Though Mr. Patrick Yangona later informed me that there was no further discussion after I was disconnected and that Dr. Sylvester Eje moved for adjournment.
They were freezing again.
Yeah, I think a network are good. Shadrach sent a mail that he's in Oraukwu and that it's not good. He's still trying to join.
Yeah, the network is a big problem because I can't see him say joining.
Yeah, this is, I think, since we have a copy of this in, let's just sum it up and move on because we're gonna be getting this off and on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. As more people logged in, then it diminishes the chances of us having this continuity.
Okay.
You know my suggestion here, so we don't keep spending hours in this meeting. So the minutes are posted. Everybody should read the minutes ahead of time.
Yeah.
Once you come in, you ask the question, is there any objection to the minutes?
Exactly.
If there's no objection to the minutes, we move on. There's no point reading through this whole thing.
Exactly.
And that's why and that's why I try to send the minutes ahead of time so that everyone could read.
Okay. Okay, good. Well put together. Yes. Thank you so much, because this minute is already in our forum platform, and the updated one she was talking about Oraukwu Ejena take back into the forum for onye well question about it. Other than that, because Ghana forum couldn't check here, then Kado onwale any correction from
yes, yeah. I think in other locations, my name was getting okay. At only one location, they said is Dr. Ezani. Strike off that doctor is that takes care of it. Yeah.
Good. Big promotion
That's honorable doctor. You can be honorable. You can promote you.
I do have them for me.
Obama is not going to quiver. I had a level with you like that.
Yeah. Okay. Because other than that correction, can you someone correction again? Someone correction.
Yes, someone be harmful about the law. Conduit. It should be conduit instead of conduct.
Okay, conduct. Okay. Okay, ndị injinia o doro n'anya ọfụma na mụnwa gụrụ ya na aghọtakwuru here itself. Okay, good correction.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
It's actually the that's why I mentioned about the updated corrected version.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, that's why I sent in the one I was asking you to project now.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Language of shorthand.
And a lot of typographical errors, so I had to edit it and resend. That's why I'm doing if you can project the one that was
the second one. Okay, good. I will do that. I will put it in India as soon as download it because
another correction. Lawrence said I drawn on the attendance list.
Who are the attendance list?
Lawrence and I from an attendance list.
Okay.
Yes, I was there. Yeah.
It was my fault because she asked me that. I'm the one who gave her that attendance list. It was my fault. Okay, he will be. I think Lai will be put in. Okay, any other correction? Wow, twice a week that's correction because I pay one attention. That's very good, very very wonderful. Okay, I forgot to put attendance. Okay, good. She will put in. So 2 people, Architect Larry Ezani and Dr. Queen Ozugbo, and then the attendant. So for Mango Libiko, add the names. And in when he add then he send it me again. Can we can put her back into the platform? Thank you.
We need to run it send it again because minutes today can capture as correction.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's true. That's true. So because
so it's set up for people to call in through phone.
Or even set it up.
I'm looking for the number to call in by phone. And where your number?
Okay, by phone. Yeah, again, okay, by phone. The queer when the shot no be or don't post here it gets on people's nerves. So once I can cut off phone.
Okay, absolutely.
So again and can when you for bank phone day. No one got to the
push Shadrach on this. I'm trying to get him in.
Okay, please. Can
move on to adopt the minutes?
Yes, thank you so much, Ugodia. Because can you move to adopt the minutes?
The process moves for the adoption.
Thank you, Prof. Can you in a second there?
Is that second? Yeah.
Okay. Ezani, Oragdos. Okay, because Darun, I have to share my screen once again about contractor before on 18 Shadrach into the line. Unanya Oziafu Ezili Agari Ofuma Nkenesie Anumekenekwa Equal Walibak Oje Diozi, well done and very, very clean. So up all the 2 contractors, it was the first one gal. Monsieur inspection, checks everything, come up with his cost, then followed by Shadrach. I think maybe he's one who is coming in. Then he did his own. So now come project Ife Fanabo web portal. Then I never knew already. Ndo do a nesia peak year 1. So now at the same time, I will go ahead and share my screen right away.
So doesn't mean I have to wait to get one sign in. If you're projecting the other guy's quote.
Okay.
We
yeah,
have looked at this before. No. You projected it last time, right?
Yeah, but not for this forum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. I think it would be better not to bring Shadrach in.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let me get back to the technology. Okay. Okie dokie. Screen. Share.
Mike Ndagoba, Victor Ndagoba, no one engineer, you apply data and kind technology, or work online.
My brother. I don't know the IT.
Or engineering work, or data and kind could be that can be boy plant in it. Or work over usable.
Exactly.
Well, very soon we'll get there.
That's right. Okay. Una freehand project on the screen. If I be fair, Kogus. You couldn't want back a man me pronounce the name Kogus Shelter and Consult. If I be firm send the liars an estimate, it will reconstruct the hospital. Roofing, total 388,000 naira. Then the yellow doors, I will just jump it because it puts me in a forum, not just I got through it very quick. Or you choose more details, you got a platform, you got full the whole details. Then doors, it will take 2 doors padded, 125,000 naira. Then counter, you count up to 53,000 naira. And I'm not the last column. Then the next page here continues. Then protector and glass, total 77,500 naira. Electrical wiring, it was you work with. That is everything total, total 325,718 naira. Plumbing work, total 453,300 naira. Tiling, total 60,000 naira. Supervision work here is 200,000 naira. Then total, total 2,049,680,000 naira. So, nke a bụ ife project. Then nke a bụ nke Shedrack Onwasanya. O nyere door ya 45,000 naira, double door. Then provision for AC, 40,000 naira. Provision for counter, 100,000 naira. Water collector, 150,000 naira. Electrical works, 140,000 naira. Plumbing, 74,000. Then pre-roofing of the gatehouse, 55,550,000 naira. Then tier aluminium roof, 95,000 naira. Then painting work, put out 3,341,000 naira. Then contingency fee up to 100,000. Then tier supervision work, 150,000. When in your 4.3 million. Then according to the contractor, I find it out from if you all the 2 contractors. When I call that now, the painting work, I charge it there. Then another contractor more cheaper than both of them. So now Shedrack can I charge 3.3 million for subcontractor for painting. So when I call that now, screen. Because you're on time. It's in okay. So when I call see that now, people name me handle one flash my screen. Then I but my mistake in game is the mistake here again of admitting people.
I don't think not the go late. He change here.
You change here. Okay, can me see I can change here because only this stuff. Okay, good.
To security.
Okay.
Security. Okay.
Stop why share if I then cannot hear back he goes in can miss way me because yeah.
Okay.
So then from una forgiven about project. So then equivalent back when I corner the painting of the other guy, Kugo's shelter. 388,000 naira the painting cost. So normally I eliminate here from I charge here from 2 million on I charge here to do the whole work. Now charging here after 1.6 million. Then the same thing with the shade drag on one side. Now painting work here of contracting job of 4.3 million. Normally work with 3.3 million painting cost here. Now charging cost here after 976,000 naira. So now when my screen is frozen. Anyway, I can put up Xenon. So now and then these two contractors, the other person when I was painting job at 1.6 million, then share the put 976,000. Everybody will equal subcontractor paint the house at the what both of them is charging. So I under when I'm a peak na I contract shed raki on one side na job here at least he been with us and he been doing work for us. We've seen his work. So I know this body I know the project committee. Yeah, I support in EPK Shedrack on one side. Or let's know who's only objection with it. Other than that, I think Shed himself is already on the phone. Or what Batago?
Well, let me connect him.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna connect him. I'm gonna join the line. So good
year. Dr. Biko, we're going to do it before he called Shedrack. There's something I want to say on this because this is why the former projects we embarked on did not go well. That's why I had that poor job. The two estimates means mixing apple and orange. They are not on the same level. Now, the way we can get what we want will be to send somebody to go there and see what has to be done, put it down, then we get contractors to quote on those things so that we know exactly what material are we using.
Peter, before you got before you got one who maybe last meeting,
let me answer that.
Everyone here, because we're something to add.
Yes.
Clarify. I didn't jump for this meeting. When they got inspection with those contractors, they suppose in a low down, a too fussy wega inspection. From Angole Ugochukwu, so na part of the team gallery the inspection. Go when we get brief to fussy wega inspection. Now etu fussy where
come up with the estimate.
Come up with most of these things.
Good. Very good. Okay, very good. Because yeah, Peter, in on the track, only that now if you know I am missing last meeting. So Kopondo Sunday the contractor, Melify in a fire Jumakia, because somebody was there with the both contractors. So maybe then after kind of say then almost a question also yeah, aju then a then once ukusi then Dr. AJ Etinyem Onwasanya on the line. I don't want cafe freeze it out again.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, because somebody was asking, I'm on ground where Malefe the contractors. Yes. So we were on ground with the contractor. Actually, the two of them at different times. Myself, Sister Anguli Ugochukwu, Mr. Sondu Ugochukwu, Dr. Modebelo, and Ezewudo. So I meet you with Shedrack Onwasanya. So we went around the whole hospital to see the things that need to be done. As we're doing it, we're also labeling the rooms, because not from the room, the plan. The doctor had a copy of the plan Dr. Anisoba sent to them. So we used the plan to go through the hospital premises, even though that some adjustments were made, because the plan, as we know about the original one, it was the one that was later used, okay, where for the purposes of registering the hospital. So we achieved a lot in the sense that we're able to mark out the following rooms I get used at the hospital. And as we are marking them out, and now I see the work to be done on it, the architect need to say down. So we labeled that the consulting room 1, consulting room 2, they are in our ground floor, the pharmacy office and dispensary, cashier/account office, the administrator's office, changing room for the nurses, reception from the entrance, then records where the files will be kept, the waiting room, patients before they see the doctors, labor room, the theater, the lab, antenatal ward, conference room, private ward. These ones are now up at the first floor. The private ward, the chief consultant office, the male ward, the female ward, the postnatal ward, then the nurses/injection room. I'm archive out upstairs, funding on a ward. So while we were labeling these rooms, the contractor was now taking note of the things Agwalia to be put in place. One, he was shown the changeover, the faulty. So he noted that the changeover needs to be worked on. And then the electricals, or observed, most of the electricals, as was said in the last meeting, they melt out and they faulty. Then the plumbing work that will be done, most of the sinks and the water system, the water doesn't flow through them. Then he also noted the rooms that needs to be provided with AC holes, that he needs to carve out holes, ever get near AC, especially at the theater. And the wirings that will be done to connect the AC. Then at the labor room adjoin it to the theater. So he has to create out a double door that could allow a patient in on a labor room to be wheeled into the theater if need be. Then at the cashier room, there was no ventilation there. So he has to make provision for fan and a little cabin to put in a counter where patients can be able to pay into the cashier at the room. Then a door space has to be created between the pharmacy and the dispensary room. And there's also a counter. He has to put in a counter at the dispensary too. And we also noted that the roof at the gatehouse, likewise the roof at the balcony, the first floor of the hospital, Milizo, the water pours into the balcony. Sizeba now damage a lot of things. So as we're doing all this, he was taking notes of the things that they need to do. So the projection that they gave are the things that will show them that they need to do. Mm-hmm. After which they now noted it and then came up with the quotation. So while we are done with Shedrack Onwasanya, we had to hang around and wait for the time we gave to the second contractor to join us at the hospital. So during here, you also took him round and did the same process with him. So afterwards, I will now ask them to, at different times, to bring up their quotation and send to the house. So the quotation we have are the things we've asked them to do. That's what they brought into the house. It wasn't like they did that on their own. Thank you.
All right. Okay. To add to what she was saying, Victor, thanks for coming in, because this is the first time I'm seeing your face or seeing you in this program in a very long time.
Yes.
We're glad you showed that, and we need you to be here as often as can be. Please, I beg of you to do that for us.
I think you have my phone number.
Yeah, no. You have to be present all the time. You're an engineer. Yeah, you're an engineer. We need you to be here at most of the time. But anyway,
if you don't see me in a long while, you call me to know whether I'm still alive.
The last time we ironed out exactly what needed to be done, and in details. And the way it was followed up is that this is not hearsay. Physically, each individual went in there. Those two contractors in Guinea, this is for Victor actually, they actually saw what is there to be done. If you see the details of what their estimates all are, it itemized and they addressed each of the things that is needed. Only thing we needed is to speed up and get this hospital moving so we can register it because of the advantage we have with the minister right now. Yes. So we cannot slow down no more now. You know, all this has been done. Let's move a little bit further and faster, just a little bit, yeah.
Sorry. This is where I have some issues, because we need to fasten that, but then we wouldn't like to come back to do this thing again.
Yeah. No.
Because we are talking about Nigeria. Wait a minute. In Nigeria, you are not guaranteed of the material you're using. Okay, right now we talked about paint. They didn't. We don't know what type of paint they are going to use, because somebody can bring PS paint, and somebody can bring Beja. They are not the same thing, and their quality are not the same thing, and both contractors will you the same.
We will tell them what to use. Yes.
Okay. Another one is the roof.
Hold on, guys.
They did not tell us which type of roof they're going to use.
Victor, hold on one second. These were the questions I asked in our last meeting.
Yeah.
So Larry, in the last, you were asked to look at the two quotes and see whether what they are what they have down as their job description, whether they are similar because of the variation in the cost. One is 1.6, one is 900 and something. We discussed the paint issue. We know there are different paints, there are different kinds of Nigeria. You have silk, you have emulsion, you have non-emulsion. So the way we solved that, Victor, was that we said, let's remove paint from their quotes.
Yes.
Let's focus on physical structures first. After they finish the physical structures, renovations, we can now put out a quote for somebody, a painter, to paint the building for us. We choose the kind of paint we want, whether we put silk, emulsion or not. Now, the question you asked, Victor, I asked that same question because we know if you build buildings, whether here or at home, contractors are the same. If you go on turnkey service and pay the money, they use inferior materials to build your house.
Yes.
So if you go on cost plus, where they buy stuff, you pay upfront, they just charge you for labor. They use the material you want them to use for you. So those questions were asked. So Larry was supposed to be looking at the quotes to see whether they're using the same thing. And that's why I suggested that the committee reaches out to Engineer Morgan of Fordham, so Morgan will inspect what they are using. If they are using materials, then Morgan will tell us that these materials are not adequate. That was why I made that recommendation. They reach out to Morgan. Morgan is not giving us a quote, but he's an engineer. He knows what is going on, and he has interest in what's going on in the village. So that I wanted to answer your question, Victor, because I know you were in the last meeting. They were
really, I'm interested in that because that was the recommendation. But did the Morgan come and is he part of the committee at this point? Because that was the recommendation. But is he part of the committee now doing the inspection or looking at the quotation that they submitted?
Angoli, have we reached out to Morgan? Mr. Gochu, sorry for calling you.
Hello?
Have you reached out?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Have we reached out to Morgan?
Morgan or Fordham.
You know, you suggested that Morgan should be reached out to, but the House didn't rule anything on that. So I don't think anyone will reach out.
All right.
Well, at least if you
and at the initial stage that we had, it was just for the contractors to have a look at what is on ground and put in their quotation.
Yes.
So when we are now at the stage of their purchasing the materials,
yes.
This is a really in the middle of what we're talking about, to make sure that what we are comparing is the same thing. If the Morgan was supposed to be a representative of our committee, of our group, who would be looking at the professionals, the contractors coming to make sure that they're doing everything comparable, because we on these prices that we're talking about, which is the point that Victor is raising, how do we know that what they are quoting they are going to be the same? Except if we have a professional who is looking at their work and be able to say yes, that everything is at par. And that was the recommendation.
Always something to suggest. I think it's better now I invite architect Onwasanya.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yes.
Professional.
Exactly.
It's better now invited. Then whatever the question is true.
Exactly. And then specifically, equality will be an issue. Thank you. That's simple as that. Yeah. Yes. Simple. Yeah.
Yeah, because another area I'm not concerned about, because for instance,
let me add something to this.
If you use Cotex wire,
please,
they are not the same.
Yeah, please.
Quality is not the same.
Victor, we understand where you're coming from. The reason why we are going towards Onwasanya, remember, Onwasanya is a professional. He has an engineering department in his office. Exactly. He has an electrical engineering department in his office. He has architectural department in his office. So he is somebody better to do this. But still, it didn't stop us from hiring an engineer to go inspect it. But when you hire an engineer, remember, engineers are of different disciplines. So we have to really hire those engineers that will cover electronics, electrical, and all those things we need, which we already know. I know Onwasanya has worked for me. He has drawn a plan for me. He has all these departments. And then the way he works, this department, he has every individual inspector, profession has to approve it before he finally put it together. That's how he works. So we already have all these things we asked him for.
Biko, 1 second. 1 second.
Victor, 1 second. Victor, 1 second. Can I address something? Wait, 1 second. Jeku, that does not address Mrs. Ndu Agoba's concern. I think the way we can address Mrs. Ndu Agoba's concern is once we've decided on who we are going to use as a contractor, we want to make sure that Engineer Morgan, who is from our place, local, has been doing all the work in the village, both road construction, and he also controls builds houses. So he knows these things. He has to be in the committee and assess what they are using. Make sure that what they quoted for us is what they're using. We're going to talk to whoever is going to do this job. They have to eventually give us a listing of the kind of materials they will use at their quote level. So once we get the names of those materials they're going to use, we'll hand over a copy to the engineer in the committee, so that at some point in time, he's going to go and inspect the job. I understand what you're saying, Victor. Very important. And Ms. Ndu Agoba has a very good point. Very important, because we need to know the fact that Shedrack has electrical engineering in his place is one person.
Exactly.
So they can do whatever. So that's not an excuse. We just have to have somebody in the committee that's going to be a third eye and see what they're doing.
Correct.
Dr. AJ,
yeah.
Actually, this is a collective concern. It's not just Victor's concern. Because if we remember the last meeting, Barrister Okeke had the same concern. I had the same concern. You had the same concern. And that's why we settled that Morgan has to identify whatever material that needs to be costed. It's not even, they're supposed to approve the material even before they put in their quotation, the contractors put in their quotation, because they will be putting their quotation based on the material recommended by Morgan. So that after that, we know that, look, we said you are going to use mahogany for the door and not just Iroko wood or something like that, because this is what is acceptable for the nature of the structure, which is a hospital. If we identify what needs to be done at every point, including the ceiling, including the electrical, it is based on those materials, those quality materials, that the contractors will make their quotations. And then from the quotations they made, we choose somebody who will do the work. So that when he brings in a different material, somebody is able to say, hey, this is not what we have in our quotation. We are not accepting this. And then he'll be forced to, he knows this is a loss for him, or he has to return it back and then get us the exact material we need, because we made it clear we don't want to be going back and forth on this. We want to do it once and for all. Dr. Gona Abokuru, no, we have to do it and get it done once and for all, because we may not have the time to be coming back to be repairing and repairing and repairing every year. So it's a general concern. My concern right now is we may have to go back to him, Dr. Morgan, identifying the materials and let these people review their quotations based on those materials. And then we can make a choice who does what. That's my own submission. Thank you.
Well, Father,
Eje, just 1 second, Eje. What do we know about Morgan's background and then quality of quality assurance? Because that's what you're emphasizing. How much do we know of
the neutral body
assurance? Yeah, because we need to know the individuals we're dealing with. Yeah.
Yeah, Morgan is a general contractor.
Okay.
He also is involved in road constructions and building constructions. So he does both. I know he has the capability and the knowledge to figure out all these things.
And he has the neutrality to determine what needs to be done, not what needs to be
That's
taught.
what we have to know, because
we just have to get him and make sure that he's willing to, he's going to be in this committee. But judging from the way things are in the village now, I think both Igbo, everybody, they've drawn him in. He wants the business. He has pretty much 80% share of the road construction in Oraukwu. So he has vested interest to come here and do this work that we're asking him to do. I'll personally call him as well.
And we don't want somebody who has conflicts of interest. I think the point that the contractor Omusanya, somebody suggested he can do it, but can he stand for us as without his own conflicts of interest in terms of he being the contractor and also standing for us? That's why we want somebody who is independent.
No, he has worked for us before.
No. Onwazanya is an Oraukwu man. And he has Oraukwu interest in his heart. And most of the prizes he gave, because of the fact that I told him, listen, Ibu, one of us, he came down the price on the previous projects he did for us. And he did an excellent job, which was posted. Everybody saw that. And then Onwazanya has been in business for a long time. And he's proven beyond a shadow of doubts of what he can do. Now, the only thing is that the materials that can go in there, maybe he might need a little help to get the high quality one. That's the only thing there. But to get the job done and the interest in his heart is Oraukwu, and I think he has our interest in his heart to get things done. but we probably will have to give him the better materials or high quality materials just to get the job accomplished. That is the only difference here now.
Larry, I don't think we have problem with Awasanya.
No.
We have problem with him.
Okay.
When back home, I worked with him.
Okay. All right.
Our house at home.
Yes.
I know him for a very long time. I work with him. I know exactly what he can do.
Awesome. Yes, already.
That is not the issue. The issue is that we have to be sure of what we are putting in, because it is a contractor that put in those wires that got burnt.
No.
He's the one?
I said it is a contractor that put it in. So we have to be sure of what we are putting in. Then he will put it in for us.
So Victor, that's why I said, for the interest of time, I think we're spending, to be honest with everybody,
spending a lot of time on this.
Everybody, there are so many things we can do with our time on weekends like this. Weekends like this are the time I stay here and do my work. So for the interest of time, we have a way we can mend this whole thing. So whichever contractor we are going to choose now, let that person give us a list of the materials they're going to use for this job, so we know what they are quoting on. Without it, so somebody can inspect it and make sure they're using that list. I mean, what everybody's saying is 100%.
Because there's one thing I want to add to this, okay? And I don't want that thing to be eliminated. I have said it before. This idea of our mindset that I go forever. Such a thing doesn't exist. That's why I'm suggesting, no matter why you were building here, when we finish building everything, we should have a maintenance people set aside. For your structure to last, I don't care what you use to build it, to last, maintenance has to come in. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. Let's not repeat the same mistake the people that build this house make. Once we have a maintenance on the side, people can go and renovate their home, maintain this thing, remove what is not necessary or what has been outdated and replace them. That is the key things for us to have a strong structure.
Thank you. Okay, engineer. Go ahead.
Because I can see the concern about material, and we know not the problem I went back home, but material. Onwelokai separate these two things, labor and material. Because if we can, then I think we may be able to resolve this. If we can, where that trusted person engaging a good material, then we pay the contractors their labor. We will be sure. Exactly. I'm not going to complicate a little thing, but it's, totally all over. Like Victor asked that question. The why are now born, or suppose you're born now. You got to go all over basically the material or a befanchani in the engine. If we can get a good material, surely I'm a maintenance culture, but a lot of issues now on energy material where is low effect. So that's what I want to chip in. Come on, we can get separate the two.
Thank you. Because if on concern on this is good. Unanya only that na obviously we different tone, so na odemma unogwafu he made this job called overall we had high in quality so na if we are almost there. I am already. That the only thing is about this guy. If it was the doctor agent of them, just he get here into Unanya already. I have to go the estimate both contractors who were there. If you find out what I'll Nanya details, I brought an engineer, but by me looking at it, both of them the very, very close. Iron door is iron door, So now is this a price difference here? This is very close, 1 point to 900 and it's 600 and something thousand. So near you not just he get this afford man. He get engine afford them or walk out with Shedrack on one side. Then got through if Shedrack you could not arrow. Then almost ever panyaka more na paint you or whatever. Shedrack and say good. Or say about when you take work and we believe can. So now I'm not drill be here forth and back because I don't go forth and back. This is $2 million contract. Oh, why 2 years did you worry high na quadrillion? A man, even in I Jumakia, Galnoy, destroy and quite the center. I am a will is we had cheap here and well wire automatically. So near we have now. Can I go ahead, bring your Shedrack on one side, even as and kind of queba now dance around. Obukita no kiteba. I join kita. Only because say, yeah. No depending the use. No, you have the top on the line. No can one you beat yen. Yeah, or soon only a putozubo. So instead of fine whenever now can I buy round and round and round. I have bring gear in. Then what are the contract? I think that will be the best way to go about it. Because it more for them, bureau meeting and easy, a Japan no back again, bureau inspection again, go quite around. Wow. I do know quite enough here in the because you couldn't want you back on each business, spending hours going through that inspection stuff. Tangible, one village again, go through that thing. Not do too much. So na beacon can hit the nail on the head, move ahead, surge ahead. So why AEC Kuchaluko Guncha Mbo Ubuchiekwe Prof. Also that now no matter here we say maintenance here, they are all just high maintenance people. And I got through. To be honest with you, here in my house will be one of the highest electrical here now. But I'm not in Nigeria too much. A lot of freeze.
Yes, I'm here.
Melt at the thing.
Okay. Chief, I'm gonna share the phone.
Okay.
Okay, Patrick.
Yep.
Yes, Patrick, I'm hearing you. Yes.
Oh, very good. Jedina, Keki man. Welcome.
Welcome, Keki man.
Subade here. The entire group not here. So no, I free and I free estimate cost. So I guess go through it. So most of us, I need like if iPhone. So some of engineers know about I just say a mobile question, on how to proceed and the quality and everything. So because I recall not here which are 14. Because
that's okay.
Onye unu afugo na chedi enwe ono here with visual, ono with us visual, so that for room mad. So because onye ji kunu nyaku afia, then ka o amalo onye na ekunu. Ngwa biko the floor dey open. Engineer Victor ye bido. Victor skono na gini alụrụ ọrụ so e ma ndụ agaba Victor engineer Victor ndụ agaba chedi.
Okay, Victor. Yeah. Victor. Hey, so, Victor that left us here and went away. It's okay, Victor, how are you? Wow, that's great. Yeah, it's okay.
Well, Shedrack, this is what.
Yes.
So we had two quotations from two different contractors, you and somebody else. So
okay.
They presented the quotation. Of course, in every quotation, in every construction, there's always some variance. So,
of course, yes.
What members of this committee want to know is one, several things. One, the most important one is materials you get used for the job. We need to know what materials you're going to use. Electrical wiring.
No, I'm hearing you.
Okay, I'm not let you get us because I don't connect both phone.
I'm hearing you clearly.
Cheloka na abia. Ongoli. Ongoli phone.
Chedra kema kandi be ojeku.
So, okay, Keku. Keku man.
I didn't know.
Okay. Here came up now. The materials you can use for the job. We need a list of the materials. if you specify door, you need to know, is it mahogany door or is it ordinary wood door? If you specify electrical wiring, we know there are different types of electrical wiring in the market. You have China, you have Korea, you have Malaysia, you have Japan, you have France. So you're going to use. If you specify zinc, roofing, material you can use for the roofing, we need to know what it is. Because the consensus of everyone, including us and the OBA, is that within this group, people have used all kinds of materials to build their house, so they know what is there. And we also want Morgan or Fordham to get involved and look at the things and anybody say they're going to use for the job. You know, we want to make sure that the material that's quoted is what is used. Nobody is saying that you're not honest or something like that. Don't get us wrong. This is for anybody who's going to do the job. So the pent you quote today in your quote, what kind of pent eating here there? It looks like it's quite expensive. Go the pent equal to
go on. When you finish, I will start my presentation.
I've made my point.
Okay. Now let's go. Let's start with the electrical wiring.
Okay.
You know, because the best quality wires you can get in this country now are Nigerian-made wires. Are you following me?
Yes.
Very well.
Hello?
Yes.
Very well.
Yes, Nigerian wires are the best in the market, yes. Because all these China things, nobody can vouch for anything China. So Nigeria is the best. Then on the doors, because we just have just 2 doors, if I remember clearly.
Yes,
the one between the pharmacy and the dispensary. And then the one between the labor room and the theater. The one between the theater and the labor room would be a double door, double swing door. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? So that one would be a double swing, that double door. Then the other one between the pharmacy and the dispensary would be a single swing door. So they are both wooden doors. We don't need iron doors, security doors for those places. But those ones are more expensive, you know. So that one goes for those doors. Then I talked about roofing. The roofing is a simple matter now. It's just a question of the timber is okay, where normal timber, seasoned timber, but the roof covering will be long span aluminum. That's what we want to use there. Long span, 0.45 gauge, not too light. In fact, 0.455 is most appropriate for such place, because that place, that guest house we are roofing now, is already decked. But because
Hello? Go ahead, I hear you. Yeah.
It's already decked. But because of the thing is having leakage, so we don't want to start knocking down the deck before putting in a new roof. So the roof we are going to put will be on top of that already existing deck. We'll fix the roof on top of that deck. So
okay.
Then that is for the roof trusses, that timber work that will carry the roof. Then the roof will be just long span aluminum roof, 0.45 gauge. Those are the things we estimated for, you know. Then on the paint, you know, there are so many paints in the market now, so many, everybody is claiming to be a painter and they are producing so many paints. But the person I'm using for my paint work, I've used all the jobs I did at Enugu and all over the place. The young man, well, not too young man, the man has been performing wonders for me. Even the Oraukwu, which I did, he's the one who painted it. And whenever you pass that now, you see how that place, that paint is still as if it's painted today. Yet it was done 3 years ago. And the man assured me that it will be like that for the next 10 years. Even I used it for one of Deruga at Abatete. The Deruga is also US based when they were burying their mother at Abatete. I renovated their house, and you still use that same paint. And everybody who passes that place see marvel at how fresh that, because the problem with paints is that some of them you paint it today, tomorrow if you painted yellow, it will turn to green or black or yellow or blue, So this man has not disappointed me. So that is why actually any job I do, I go for the best the market can present, the best I could get, because most times some people will say my quotation is always high or whatever. But I tell them that I don't just compete with price. Nobody will ever say that I got this job because I quoted low. Because when you are going low, you are going for also low quality product. So that is my own approach for those things, because I want to do each time a lasting thing. But if you feel you can get it cheaper elsewhere, you are free to do so. But whenever I do it, you can be rest assured you are getting what? You are getting what of what you paid for, Hello?
So, Shed, when you said penta,
yeah. Yeah.
Pen is it silk pen? Is it emulsion? Is it what kind of pen?
The emulsion he's using, test coat is very expensive. Mm-hmm. But there's super quality emulsion that man uses for outside the painting. Outside like that fence, like that immobile one. He used that super quality. Even my own residence at Town Nature, he used it there. And he's still there. 5 to 5 years ago, he did my house. So it will last. It lasts more than even some of these test codes some people will tell you they use. So it's poor quality. Sorry.
Regarding to the door, he said it's going to be a wooded door. Is it a solid core door?
Yes.
Is it a hollow core door? What kind of wooded door?
No hollow. No, it's the type. Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, because Shed, because Larry will get email.
Okay, yeah, fine. Yeah, get email. Yeah.
So back and okay. We've worked in the past, and then everything went so well. We're glad that you did. And only one mention of Oraukwu about Nigerian quality. That just kind of resonated on my head. Nigerian quality products. Is that something that we really can trust? Okay, now this is the deal. We are trying as much as we can to set up this hospital that will be a little bit more everlasting, more than normal, because the last time the wires were burning, there was catching fires when we're not supposed to, because of safety, of course, about that aspects. And the intent to raise.
Larry, can you hold on a moment?
Sure.
There were no wires burning. They had a problem I went there with my own electrician. What happened there was that I told Sunday night, I told Ugochukwu. What happened was that they did a wrong connection. They did the wrong connection of the plant. Of the That was what happened. There was no problem with any wires, because the moment we rectified it, all the lights that where the bulbs hadn't burned came on, So there was no connection, no problem with connection or wires. It was just the connection with the plant that caused all the other problem. Yes. Even I even told Sunday that they still have to pay my electrician, or even if people are not giving me the job, they have to pay him for rectifying that work. He has already done it.
Yeah, we will take care of it. Don't worry.
No, hold on. Shadrach.
God bless you.
For rectifying stuff.
This young man left. I took him on for the whole day to go there. He looked through over the whole thing, checked everything before he finally discovered what the problem was, So at least just to feed his family for that day
because there's no, in terms of Isetu, the young man, I told you there's no problem.
Yes.
Messia Monana Bafu. And no problem about that.
Very good.
I said it in a lighter mood, actually, but yes, no problem.
Okay, good.
Okay, Shane, another thing, this doors in Ekumaki, normally Open an exterior door, metallic doors will be more effective than the wooden doors. Yeah. Open exterior doors.
Of course.
Yeah.
These are interior doors, not exterior.
Yes. Yeah.
They're not exterior. If you can pay for those iron doors or metal doors, for instance,
no,
we can
don't
use
want
them.
to.
Not necessary.
Just tell us, is it a solid core door or is it a hollow core door? Is it one of these carbon particles that they put together?
No. It's not carbon. It's panel door. It's what we call panel door. It's all wood. Some of them use.
We don't have that kind of door in Nigeria. Oh, back here.
Huh?
We don't have that type of door here in Nigeria. We don't have that type of door
in Nigeria.
Oh, here, hollow core and
solid core. No, they bring it from China.
No, they buy some
from
Turkey.
Yeah, una fugo biko Chedi. I'm gonna
because of Kulofi
Okay, go ahead.
Biko, the name of the paint you are using.
The name.
Of course, no, my contract and
yeah.
We're not talking about the contractor. What we are interested in, but the material they're going to use for us.
Give us the name.
I'm telling you, I'm assuring. I've now pointed out one or two places. At least that Imo be Oraukwu. You people know that building now.
Yes.
I think that's the one. He's the one who painted it. Because name or whatever. The important thing is, this paint issue is about mixture. Some of them, because they want to get the job, they put in a lot of, they dilute everything and paint for you, and tomorrow everything changes colors, But if you use high quality paint, the thing will last as long as you want it. And that's what this man always gives me the assurance that he does. And he has never disappointed me in any manner.
So do you know why I asked that question? Sure. The reason I asked that question, Bo that na buying Oraukwu, I used APL that gave me 20 years warranty on that paint, and that paint lasted since that time I painted it today. Okay.
Thank you, she used.
APL, even though they're no longer there, but I know that Beja is the best paint now in Nigeria.
Of course, Beja is the best. If you want to go for Beja, you will be thinking about double that price we gave you.
It's very expensive.
That's why we want to know the name of the paint you are using.
Yes.
You're shouting.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was so close to the microphone. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Chad. If you remember now, on case atu aninu asina na asim onya no ha eba no news asinya bo osinu kubido baba. If you remember now, emana I monoplan up etu a abialu etu a American quality stuff. I'm a name with American quality, where Nigerian standard. I don't work in Nigeria, see, allow if I work in the Americas, so most of the time, I want to be here most of the time. On that, I can see in America, I see to how well you exactly like in Nigeria. So now, even now, could have been in the guy instances, Kawasi Imobi, Afum Imobi. It's incredible. As last 2 years in Caribbean, it's magnificent. So point is quite very critical. No matter how high quality, a contractor change. Engineer acquire military ties. Will you paint here? No dear, so now, never Afgo I call I have to hero for quality of work. Oraukwu already. Because I don't know. Upon this body, agree upon it. We go ahead and allow you to take this contract job. And the also now. As you start here the work today, how long will it take to finish? No, as it be there today. How
if the funds are available, because the problem, if the funds are delay in the funding, but if the funds are available, the only thing that can take time there are those small like breaking of walls and those things. But as for the painting and everything, within 2-3 weeks, the whole thing will be over, you know.
2-3 weeks. Okay, we're looking at 3 weeks.
1 month.
You can start.
1 month.
1 month. Okay, good.
Not asking a question. Let me ask.
Yeah,
you know, Chad, if we uncouple the painting from your other quote, how does that look to you? I work with the painting for MSC. We'll come back to painting.
Some of those things, if you look at those, if you look at our figures, you see where we put in supervision fees. I think you saw it there.
Yes, I fully.
So because that thing is assuming that everything will go on at the same time. Because if you finish one aspect and then maybe you come back later for the other one, it means we have to collect more for spare. If they are doing the whole work at the same time, if I go to Oraukwu, for instance, and I can be supervising the roofing, the painting, the plumbing, the electrical works, and the masonry works, it will be cheaper. Logistically, it will be cheaper. But if you have to do one aspect and then have to come back later for the other one, it will cost you more. That's the only difference it makes. You know, that's all.
Okay, so if I take it, let it cost us more. Let's pay you for supervision, like here to Dr. Jesse.
Hold on. So Shadrach, is it possible you can shoot us a figure to Chudi within the next 48 hours? What's going to cost us to remove, with respect to your supervision and doing the simple renovations and then fixtures, just remove paint. Let us know what additional cost is going to be there for the other job except painting. Is it possible you can give us that figure? Just take away paint.
We may have to review the whole figures, because one is that when you are doing a bulk work, you might be losing there and gaining there and some other places and all that kind of thing. So that if you start removing them piecemeal like that, definitely it means you are ready to pay more. That's what it means.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. So this is a problem. We looked at the painting. The cost of painting is so much, and that most people here frowned at it. So we had intended to come back to get your painter and you and see if we can renegotiate the cost of that painting, because we looked at the cost of painting for your job, if what you quoted and what the other contractor quoted, it was like night and day. So that triggered a lot of questions in our committee here, and they have to do the job. So we can't just shove it down their throat and say this is what you got to take. So we want to know if there's room for us to get down the cost of paint. That's the biggest thing we have now.
You know one thing with paint in this country, because when you were talking about America and everywhere, most of these other countries have standards. They have their standard organizations and others who approve whatever everybody is producing. These things we lack in this country. So everybody goes on producing whatever they like. You can paint that building with half that sum of money we quoted. Are you following my thoughts?
Yes.
You can do it with half that cost. But what happens after is what you ask yourself. Because if you give everybody that price now, say somebody says he's painting this place for this amount, he can give you half that amount and you still paint it. The question will be, after maybe 1 or 2 years, go back to that place and see what he has done. People, that's the problem with this country. Everybody wants everything cheap. When you come here now, anything you present, you are going to do for somebody. You want to argue the price, argue it to the last cover. at the end of the day, he might even go back and spend more than 100 times again, rectifying some of the things he didn't do well. We wouldn't want to discuss that with anybody. So if you want it that way, though I don't know, I doubt whether that man will want to go lower than that. But I can assure you, even if it's not him, another person can still do it for half that amount. That time we start saying, oh, this man wanted to steal your money. So understand that what he's quoting is that if he has in mind the what he's going to give you, the end product is what he has in mind. And myself, who is presenting that thing, already know what he's going to give you. And that's why I feel confident to even talk about it, because I know I've tasted it. I have many instances of where to quote and where to share I've had the experience. To now know that this man's job will surpass that your expectation. But if you want something cheaper, somebody can give it to you. I can get another person to give you a quotation. No. But not that same man anymore. So if that is the problem, I can get another person to give you a quotation, which can be about half that one. And you still do your painting. You know, there's no issue about that. Because if everybody is quoting for the same thing, that's when you start looking at the prices. But when the product, the end products are not the same, the prices cannot be the same. You know? Yes.
One question. One question, because Shed, okay, you know, you're part of us, okay, and you're a contractor.
Yeah.
You've seen a concern. You've seen a
concern.
I'm
a contractor, I'm a consultant and everything. Yes.
So, is there anywhere we are willing to buy the paint? Whatever the paint, if it's test code, whatever it is, we're willing to buy it. So, is there anywhere you can now get labor down by talking to different painters? So you just tell us the name of the paint. We'll go and buy the paint and deliver to them. Is it okay with you?
So Doc Biko, let me can add there. Shed, can you hang on a minute? Can have what Doc here? When we come to painting. Yeah, when it comes to painting, we know no material but the basic thing. When you talk about
I'm not hearing you. Sorry. Can you speak up? I'm not hearing you well.
Okay, so when it comes to painting, we know no material but the painting. And I go instances where a contractor can screw it up if he wants. A got a paint or made or like it. So now I think in Anifabo, Ifora, or Kuyotago, you are part of it. We are looking for the best way to get it done in a cheapest possible way. We can hear exception to Maka, even we want to separate it. Okay. And don't make a Victor you were actually the name of the paint. That stands out. Or Buluno when he see Rapo I got that paint that stands out that can last that 3 years. Make sure I went at the quality of paint. And the labor part, it paint you know, I brief and edit, and the more paint you know, Erika. You got to go bro, it was paint edit, I mean, no, last, normal last, or the paint itself that determine. Okay, so people, we need to get that paint. Obolo no we kige si separate line. Can you that particular paint got lasted for 3 years? And I think that's where Victor was going when he asked you the name.
They are talking about 10 years, not 3 years.
Okay.
10 years. Yes. So if what you're quarreling with is the labor charge, I can now discuss that with the man and see how he can give us. Because I already told him, let him give us the minimum, but he might still want to go lower if he still wants to go get the job done. You know, he can. It's not that those things are cast in iron that they cannot be changed. I believe he can still give discount on the labor because he has even been calling me ever since, asking me half. So if I now tell him that the problem is about your labor charge, what are you going to do about it? I'm sure he will do something.
Okay, good. Dr. Queen Ozugbo is about to talk, yeah.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Ana m ege ndị isi anyị ntị ife niile fa na-ekwu ziri ezi mana ọ dị ka anyị nwere a little bit of I don't know.
Sorry, please, can you go closer to the mic so I can hear you?
Okay, ana m ekele for your time. Na-ekele ndị isi anyị n'ife fa na-ekwu. Mana o nwere ebe dị ka anyị nwere a little disconnect.
Sorry, I'm not hearing you well. Hello?
Okay, don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. Well, it's okay. It's okay. I think you can.
Dr. Jenna Patrick. Well, of even nature, I get in here, kita ramping a high in a quote.
Yeah, necessary. Yeah.
What's here in a quote?
But here in a quote. Architect, almost anya.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kind of quiz one. Only had discussed before, and I think in the quote you have from Mama Zeben Develia. If about a lamp, actual lamp here connected ground floor to the first floor for patients. Ilota not need to go inspect here. We work as me. I'm an email. In we can check back again. Quotation.
No, we didn't do that one. Yeah, we didn't do anything.
Okay,
the ramp Hello? The ramp
Hello?
we did. Hello, the ramp we did the last time we worked there was just for the entrance to that gyral foyer. From the ground floor, not to up to the first floor. We didn't do up to the first floor.
Okay, we need up to the first floor. We need that.
We didn't do that one. And even in that one, it will require, it's a more complicated work. Yes, it's not. Okay.
So can you look at it from architectural standpoint, stability standpoint, the work of it, and give us the quote to construct it?
I don't know how you want that one to be, because to put a ramp there, one, to take space, is it going to be outside or inside?
Outside.
Because
you give us your professional advice as an architect. So you tell us where it's going to be more stable.
Yeah, both outside and inside. I'm going to damage. Go to that stairwell. Say damage. See me other flat or katuma carry that step off.
No, ramp needs more space for you to maneuver because that's the minimum gradient it has to be so that you cannot, someone will not sleep there, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like Dr. Jesse and Nezie for your architectural viewpoint, why the best way to go about it?
Okay.
Yes, because other
okay.
So
looking at the design of that building, because you know we have all those consulting rooms and what you call outpatient on the ground floor. If I may ask, why do you need to take a ramp? Do you want to take a patient directly to the ward? Or what?
Yeah.
Because somebody still has to consult, has to see a doctor before going to the ward or whatever.
But the wards are upstairs now, so you
don't know how it flows with the design of the building.
Only the sick Keko is here about buff, what a buff. Oh, fine, I think.
But I think the question I will ask is, do we have enough room for a ramp that is meant for patients? Because the slope has to be minimal. You don't have to have the gradient has to be
low. There's no way you can accommodate a ramp within that existing building. Wow. That ramp must be something that you work on from outside, you know, because the ramp has to, the slope has to be, it doesn't have to be as steep as if you're having a staircase. You know?
Okay. Larry.
Okay.
I'm looking at the setups and I'm looking at what the design, the way they set it up originally, because I think most of other functional spaces, most of the former patients now born is second floor, I believe. Now the intent is how to pick up somebody from that ground floor. Now the ramp comes up on the first floor, to get somebody up to the second floor, I believe the only way probably is an elevator. Is there any type of elevation that can pick up people from that ground floor up, so that you know, this a barrier issue, so it's worldwide. It's not only localized in Nigeria. To make sure that anybody that comes in there can get any at any level that they needed to be. Now, elevator costs. How bad is that possible for us? Because this is
no.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, don't go there. Elevator, get the generator.
As not possible because overall power supply. Then
power supply.
Okay, well, power supply thing already. Okay.
Yes, because
the only limitations. The only limitations that we have is that to have most of the functional spaces on the first floor, so that the doctor on the first floor will be able to see anybody and the person can go away. Because,
most of the consulting rooms, the downstairs, not up.
Okay, already. Okay.
So I don't think not the necessary any additional construction there because we don't have any space.
Yeah, I think.
So this only all the consulting room, the downstairs.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I think you can do an outside ramp and then put kind of canopy on top of it to go up. So that if it's raining, there's still people are protected. So I mean that's about the best option you have at this point, is to find a way to get an outside ramp to it.
But we can be done.
Yeah,
the thing is, just I have said, it has to be outside. It cannot be within that building. It has to be outside. So you can try and design. Yes, if you want it, yes, it can be done.
Okay, we need a quotation for that. All 9 year the quotations, and if it's concrete, good. If it's wood, good. Any which design
You cannot go for wood. Don't talk of wood in Nigeria.
No, okay, okay. So the concrete aspect of it, set it up in such a way that everybody comes to the first floor, and then everybody get managed on the first floor, and they can easily wheel out themselves. Yeah, if that's the case. And the price for those, and to make sure that the ramp itself wouldn't be a hindrance, it wouldn't be a block for people accessibility, other working individuals, not to be a hindrance to it. It's set aside in such a way that it will have its own entrance entirely away from everybody else, to make it a little everybody to balance all the. You know what to do.
That is why I didn't quite buy. Kind of let me say I was kind of worried when you started talking about this ranking, because it's not as simple as it sounded now. It's not a simple
I know.
thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's not very simple. One, the design has to be done, the architectural design, and the engineer has to be invited to do the structural design. Then somebody now has to quantify it. Before you build up all these costs again, people will start shouting that the cost is too much, you know? It's not even the cost of drawing. I mean, the consultancy of that program thing. Before you talk about the construction, it's not a simple matter. Because it also has to have a roof cover, because one doesn't have to, doesn't have to be open. You have to have a roof over that ramp now. So when you're taking somebody off, it's raining, it's protected. So, left to me, I would say just don't forget about that.
Give us the bad news. Let's deal with it. Yeah, give us the bad news.
Prof on the ground. Prof, can you hit your ramp? Prof.
Yep, okay.
Can you hit your ramp?
Ramp the necessary, definitely. But in Mabun Ketankechi, maybe and we can a cost of architectural drawing first, then the stage from that drawing, can they have an idea of the cost of the other ones? But you can't go down this renovation. But ramp is necessary, but so good over on Ketankechi.
Okay.
An idea. Let's start from the feasibility study, the cost of it, and we'll go further from that one.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I agree.
So it's not necessary for registration of the hospital, because here they want.
No, not necessary for registration. We can go ahead with the registration, but But as a hospital, a ramp is necessary for a hospital.
Okay.
I think
okay,
has
so
gone
we can hold on to
far.
those things then. Yeah. Oh, great. Awesome. If it's not needed for the registration, then I think we got to hold back on it now. And then worry about
the drawing, see where it's attached. He makes provision to where it's going to be attached. So when he's renovating the place, he knows where that this is a place he's going to break down wall or something, you know. So we need to see the drawing and see how it's going to be attached upstairs. That's
good.
Hello, this network is very funny.
Yeah, I know. Dr. Ejebonye Kuribaz, us not come with that drawing. So he would make a provision. Maybe that lamp is where I connected the building. So the market here, they be we will not go ahead and carry on the project. So whenever we are ready, then we can go ahead and do it. Or if I can
quick drawing.
The lamp.
Quick drawing.
The ramp. So we need the architectural, engineering, and structural drawing for the ramp, and how and where it's going to attach to the second floor or first floor we call Nigeria. So once we get that, you can also prepare the quote. It does not mean that if the quote is reasonable, we might continue. But like Professor Professor said, that does not preclude what we're doing with you right now. But we want to see that and plan ahead, you know.
Okay.
It makes. And one thing I want to say to the Onwusanya, I'm happy. Yes, I'm so happy. I'm Onwusanya.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm Onwusanya.
Yes.
Dr.
Mary Dwagoba, Dr. John Dwagoba.
Okay, I cannot know his fucking
okay. Because if I name a babo, I way problem to a dikidozuno. I have a contractor if that adabala in here. And I try to keep him. We try to keep him, you know. So even the guy suggests but it was to Kugo Makagi, na it was if we have all the Wabonye, and I like exchange, Yaka, and you may go for all zero at that hospital. Cable our own engineer, you know. Cable somebody I can have you can want I'm on in your can have feel I gave out. Then we can. So kind of trust, you know. So somebody gave me to keep that hospital going. So I can put that kind of arrangement with you going forward.
No problem. Same at the other time. Hello.
I know.
Yeah. Same at the other time that fence collapsed.
Yes.
That collapsed fence of that place. You seem to have forgotten that I did it.
No, that's I say that you worked with us already before. We know about your works and time. Everybody saw it. It was posted all over. Yes, that was great job. Yes, I'm telling you.
It's pending, and I haven't had any problem again. So that's because I really remember that some people were saying it's costly and everything. I told them that I knew what I wanted to do, and I did it, and it's standing. So I think little testimonies like that should stand in my favor. You know?
Yes.
Yes.
So so with us, with the hospital. Okay? Because
and the issue Dr. Mendo this is Father Augustine Adimegwa. I want to commend you because some of us not here. Testified to the quality of service, commitment, honesty, which is not easy. These things are not easy to come by in Nigeria of today. So separate from the rest of the infrastructure. But you have to cover Mera Makanam Ade Bangala Sogana. We have kind of agreed even before you came in. Now we are in phases. Phase 1, let's fix all these infrastructural issues. Towards the end of it, then we'll work on the painting. So here cover separate and then make one as soon as possible. When we can bid all we can monitor where the meet bid all. So keep up the good work and that's Nazia Fakego. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Father.
Yeah, thank you, Father. Yeah. So architect, so now Dr. AJ hit that point of 2 years away with that separation of reduce not and one that the guy reduce one of the painting half or reduce or got the paint ourselves while he do the painting job. So I don't know. I get again. I shall call video automatically because I have to go other cost estimate. We will just go ahead.
Let me say something here.
Yeah.
Not any other person.
Okay.
To go back to anybody. The job is for Mwasanya.
Okay.
For a third party.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Go
one. Yeah.
Yes, it makes sense, but I can still go back to that my center. Then let me discuss with him and see what he comes out with, because he's the one who's going to do the job. But I'm just standing in for him, knowing that he can do what he has said he will do. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Okay, thank you. Then, Imana, the next year I was organ he couldn't want back because he's one who stand in between you and we. So now I send his message through him.
It's okay.
Very good.
It's okay.
So, can we any other question from most of us? Professor Anishuba, yeah.
Okay, but if actually men are plumbing my price actually, but other I like the quotation. So about Zulu each year was as one of the go from you have Balamagi Hogger, man. Now no way Oraukwu.
Yes.
So I brought I got towards you, yeah. They can see we don't know all who go so I took a savvy.
Very good. Okay, I said, yeah.
I was about to comment on that plumbing issue because my own plumber went there. The plumber went there, checked everything, but there are 2 toilets that were locked, so he couldn't get into them to know what is happening there. I discussed it with Sunday. So that one I don't want in what we are talking about because I don't know because my own idea was for him to gain access to everywhere. So we have a comprehensive report of what's on ground. But because he couldn't gain access to those 2 toilets, so you might expect extras or if necessary there because I cannot vouch for what he didn't see. I don't know whether you are getting my drift.
Yeah. I got a lot of money. So what there? Yeah, the go for that toilet. So what there? I got a lot of money.
But make sure you get into that room and see what is going on. Not because make sure you ban those 2 rooms and see what is going on. What is needed.
They need to get the keys. If the keys are not there, then somebody may need to break those doors. That's the problem there.
Okay.
Because if the keys are not there, there's no way anybody can get in to know what is happening.
Yeah, the keys can be changed. The keys can be changed. You can't find them.
Yeah.
Change the key.
Yeah, mine couldn't back here. Come on, and when try to break the door.
Yes, I have already told them capture the key. Okay, when we can open those 2 toilets.
Okay, good.
I've already told them.
Okay.
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 Yes.
On a final note, I want to remind us that because we talk about that ramp and the designs, the presentations he will make, for us to know that it is going to take some time. Because for him to get both the structures and the rest of it in, it will take some time so that it doesn't conflict with whatever job they are doing.
Okay. Yeah.
Hospital.
Yeah, I said oh my God, I could get the Reverend Father didn't make no separate. I separate again for another project. So yes, so kind of could have a different project actually at hand. So it will commence immediately. So from Etos we die in our by next week. I in Oraukwu Manite at the hospital. So, so thank you so much. I can make it. I make it one and kill bull. I make it one and cake. I like because you see, I hear say.
It's not easy. We appreciate what people are doing. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. So I'm going from the horse's mouth. So because summarizing everything I name, I guess now I gaba with him. Then obviously I chose here extra MSN was when I add here offered on by the side, got through the inspection, then I make sure pass here to Ihalo Narutali of other than that, like most of us is testify going. He's been doing a wonderful job. He has done a wonderful job for us. And that Imobi is incredible. Let me sing a post push here. If we labor for the so now overnight I got a new beacon. Can I move when I had such ahead? Overnight I will not get bido subo.
I don't know if I could go.
Okay, good. And many come for objection. Okay. Equal half a number I sent we go the other kitchen
because can they not agree on now, or the one sign doing it, or having the Morgan person?
No,
I think we need to vote.
Okay, I vote on it. On one side doing it, yeah. Or let's not have to vote on it, yeah.
Overall vote as in raising hand, no,
okay.
Agreeing to that.
Yeah.
And second one, but we also agreeing that the engineer Morgan will definitely be in the group to continue for looking at what is done, right?
Yeah.
For the minutes, I want to put it well in the minutes.
Okay. Okay. Good.
That's another thing. Also, we
good.
have not.
Yeah. Yeah. If we
we're not committed
need to
with
clarify that
Morgan already.
Issue is still hanging.
Bikono. We have not been committed with Morgan yet, and nobody have actually spoken to him to commit him. And AJ, I don't know if it will be like a priority just to get it going, so that we will bring him into the system, so that he will become part and parcel of us. Yeah.
I'll call Morgan.
Because, he doesn't know what we're thinking. Yeah, actually, yeah, because nobody ever gotten in touch with him.
No,
so to bring him in. Yeah, to bring him.
I'll call him within the next 24 hours and tell him about this.
Oh, okay, at least to bring him and give him an idea. Yes.
No volunteer. So he has to volunteer his time, just like we're volunteering our time.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, volunteer. Are we okay? Volunteer is free services. Well, yeah, that's what we need to know also.
He's in the committee. He's just in the committee. He couldn't worry back. We'll reach out to him as well.
Okay.
That included in the committee, in the building committee, or whatever it is for the hospital.
Okay.
The project. We're not contracting him to pay him money to supervise something for us. No.
Okay. Because
everybody's sacrificing their time here.
Oh yeah, but we have to bring him on board. Yeah, but he doesn't know that we are thinking of him. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay.
Okay. Good.
I think one thing going forward, because twice I beg you all because in an area if it's something going wrong, then it's a bit of trial to do it. Like for something leaking, and I'm going to call somebody to do it. We have to have people. We have to have people in that committee, or maybe to do inspection, regular inspection, Hey, na banye na room nka ihe ni na we maybe do regular monthly. Only a guardian from outside, inside, and then write a report. Write a report that either no way they die again and come and we got to that committee. Because if we don't have that, again on our VA hospital, as a supervisor, we do inspection of the whole building. And I assign to do that. And it's by doing that inspection, wrong. And then you submit it to the engineering department. So I think following this is one thing we need to establish. Within that committee, that again when monthly inspection of the building. Garia, every room, everywhere, everything. And that would be, then I know that inspection as a job of somebody to do on a regular basis. So that's what I will add to this, so that I won't be surprised if we say something, hey, okay, maybe one, okay, maybe even in the others there.
Moaga suggests this is not even something we have to hire somebody for. We have somebody on ground who can be told to do that. It's just a matter of letting him know to do that monthly and submit it to the Dr. CME. Our manager on ground, she faces a widow. There is somebody who
I'm not
can be told
suggesting
to do that.
hiring anybody.
And
the staff of the hospital to do the inspection. The staff, not hire somebody separately to do it. The staff of the hospital with the committee and they report.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying we already have a staff who needs to be told to do that. We have a staff on ground that should be doing that. I'm agreeing with you. We don't need to hire anybody outside.
Good. Yeah.
And turn it over to the building committee.
Yeah. So yeah, Dr. May, yeah, if you could go there and kind of expanding it, so she's quite in support of if you could, yeah, all the very good. I need it so bad because otherwise, after 1 month, I'll say we are if in a crumble, if in a dara. Once thing with that inspector or management here and I got in the area and they check you immediately if you maybe or report to immediately. I believe you fix I retired, and that now collapse completely. Because construction easy. So it makes reasonable sense, Dal. Thank you so much. So Kedem now or can we further
since Amos Lebai is here, more information from us about registration.
Oh no, okay. No, because I could not hear construction now. Okay. Okay, my women.
I like it, Professor Anisoba, because we have actually gone far. HND released the license yesterday, but hopeful by next week, if you know the license will be because I have paid all the necessary fees. Like the government, those ones.
Okay. Oh, very good.
Professor Anisoba brief is here.
Wow. So Professor Anisoba, so underground. Wow, thank you so much. I do actually hear that. Okay, go ahead. The brief is quite naturally.
Okay, that's what I wanted to do. So I'm meeting in Galaga. I be well, Dr. Guchuku, the director of hospital medical services. So we can make the inspection and everything. So I fix it was going to minute. Now I got for the Thursday of 9th July. So Manoluzian, no way sick I be go earlier. My go situation like before I go to that official inspection but 9th. So now I be Tuesday before that Thursday. So obviously Tuesday ọ gbakwa ofu onye ọrụ ya bịa ikwele Nwalibakụ na nwunye sue aweji inspection so n'ọkwa na ikwele Nwalibakụ na nwunye ka ya enye na nnukwu kpere ekene ewepụta n'oge ha ụdịza ka ọsọsọ ife aka ha lụrụ ehi mgbe anwa
progress.
So abịagwuru on that Tuesday maka Thursday ka mbụ n'uche na-agaghị abịa so ha nya wee kpagharịsịa so no we're very highly impressed with ife ọfụrụ on ground wee na-asị na ife agbọzi ife ya akpọ Oraukwu community hospital nke ahụ ibutu ya ebutu na ya epromotuzie ka ọ bụzie Oraukwu multi-specialty care hospital.
Wow!
So if I put as up, they quasi the whole application and the form and everything.
Okay.
So we everything. We send the quasi to equal the back. And because of that multi-specialty care hospital, I was up to now I need a specialist to register it. So up to now I'm getting using my own certificates, which I did. My undergraduate.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So can you service so my annual registration. So it's everything. So there could be a fresh application, changing the name. So all you equivalent back na approach. I did with my passport, my own passport, my the doctor on ground.
Wow.
So you can approach you. This Friday now. Mobuna director of America Service to go to on ground, but Nick and Cage could name Zuka Ben Oga appetite. So yeah, can then we call one back. Oh, well, you know, call his own pet project.
Always. Always.
About a Kuzona, we can Kuzeka has to age, well, Namakonia no as a son, I know is working. Nakuza goes to wages, the director of America says wages in Bow.
Thank you so much. Because I'm so excited. You couldn't want it back. Before you continue, because I want to my young, I want to angle so because okay for if I want Dr. Bia Unano mobile meeting, including Dr. Ugochukwu Chukwulobel. Because on a camera do so in some pictures because we had another documented, the history of that hospital. We need that kind of pictures. So I now document here of my because we could have said let's send the pictures, let's send it. We would like to keep it in our archive. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Because actually use this opportunity, can we can go Professor Anosoba maka animal so much. And we make it up there now the all time because I will respond. So the summary of the whole thing that I have clear everything, I have paid them. So all the necessary fee government required if you will register that hospital. Then those people now the desk officers when you can process our documents, which now the young man are going everything na pay process they print it out the certificate. Anything you need now for them to sign the thing. So probably by Monday or Tuesday, I feel now we can pick that certificate. So nekene prof so much. Maka his effort. Nandini menu na I will register that hospital timely.
Oh, Chokwa, hold on a minute. So we are is registered then, in other words.
Yes.
I have
yes.
Everything else we are doing now is a simple protocol to make it even better. Because so we are hiring every, oh my God.
We don't need to do any repair.
The ministry was so impressed with Buffalo on ground. Yes. That's how many did see a second inspection. I can't just that Tuesday, no school had. So Thursday, I can't Thursday.
That's excellent.
Wow, that's good. So awesome. So because even plead this now. All those equipment because I see now. I was busy time because sit down you be any knows you always if I nature.
Hanging on the ground, all the guy because if you want to stay here and send the other down to you.
Yes, because see the everything because Nanyabo Nkatana, Nabongigana, Ogo Nkatana, you know.
Security
I
now.
will do security, and we'll do security there.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh,
we'll
awesome.
do security.
Yeah, technician, sige face kuifa. Kai bala no makanka. Nya ande mar maka machine.
Okay, you couldn't want back here for my care. Once Holland, yeah. Oh, man, higher.
Okay.
Yes.
And I know where you say
very good. Very good.
That is great.
So una forgot the importance of this meeting. All the very critical. So now Ketazi, I am going to take almost 4 o'clock now Houston time. Because and me could that novel na this certificate here. You couldn't worry about Professor Nishuba because men continue emergency meeting because I fear because if I be fight about Camgwe. I'm gonna display on a screen. I will hang now for so now I got already a special meeting. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Because
I gonna count.
Yes. Yeah, because economic account, Mona financial secretary, I feel good.
I think man when he's in.
Kai Gabani Rubicon.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Because I get vote of thanks.
Yes. Yes.
Because so when you this vote of thanks, because my voice will be heard.
I take an example how happy I am because of this thing. The AED in 2016, I did this thing. I was so impressed. I rushed in and put one AED in here, replaced the battery, and that thing cost 3,000 for a battery.
Wow.
So that battery is dead. You begin to understand the implication of lingering this whole thing, staying there for a long time.
I know.
So some of the machines, ECG machines that were sent down, and now dust everywhere in the warehouse. And this is a tiny particle memory. It gets compromised.
And one
so I told you where them it would take it and met to yaka, and then met to yaka now massage for the battery for I am so good at here.
Start operation. That's good.
Okay, good. Very good. So Dr. May, before you know we go there troubling your vote of thanks before I cut her off. We go there. Your vote of thanks because
vote of thanks.
I'm giving the vote of thanks for all of us. I need to what time for it. My journey of 1,000 miles starts with one single step.
Yes.
It has been a daunting effort. It has been like climbing Mount Everest.
Yes.
And where people come together, a lot can be done. When you are seeing an obstacle in your way, it is because you're losing focus of your objective or your goal. So for the fact, Nandi Oraukwu, after any obstacle all this time, the Odua, everybody that has been involved, and we have gotten to this milestone, I want us to take a minute to thank God in a very special way for seeing us through this hurdle. Because of one moment in your mind, let's just thank God for this registration. And then we want to now give thanks to the human beings, everybody that has been involved from the beginning, including our big brother and father, who's of late, but this hospital was his pet project, Dr. John Nduagoba, and everybody who's alive today, who has in one way or another giving effort into this registration and into this hospital. And then lastly, but most importantly, to Dr. Chief Sandu Gochukwu and Professor Ben Anisoba and Pharmacist Sanguli Gochukwu and everybody else who has been on ground, and Dr. Omo Debel and everybody else. We give them individually and collectively our gratitude for being the foot soldiers and for getting this to be done. And more so, we also thank the person who upgraded us from a community hospital into a multi-specialty care hospital. May God be glorified, and we thank you so much. On behalf of myself, my wonderful husband, and every Oraukwu who have toiled in one way, thank you all so much, and may God be praised. In Jesus' mighty name.
Amen. Amen. Triple amen. Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Good. Osodieme. Yeah, in book because before comment actually make before
okay, Okulu. Maka even in maybe Sigon and to Lota, at least in my memory, I remembered my husband and this big machine that would spend the money where we're began at that hospital. And not even just that, go to a hospital, not important the money. Can I get see what's here? They're going in a barn here. Amaramu, I can make that machine or this woman would even right now, but it's God that we praise. If I have and I can sense his presence. And like Queen Ukwu, I think that he will be so happy where he is now, seeing what is going on. So, Biko down.
Thank you so much. I know. Dr. John Ugona, Dr. John Ndagova spent close to 1.5 million wire into my account. How could the engineer, a mechanical engineer, who was coming there every day trying to get that in? It worked at last anyway. It started to work. Only that now. No, test is here. Machine. I think Kulen back was the person who was shuffling forth and back to Newi, trying to get a generator. Generator cable or 30 kgV. As in Banoya walk, they need 60. A big make it. Okay, to case make it and now we're up why, you know. So oh my, we can say go back and revisit it, the Mescana machine card, even a card here. So don't worry, because I will be go. I to know where we're going to go now. Only have everything you fit in automatically. So so no now. So at the middle so one movie or just a cousin built they will come, you know. Build baseball now you are field corn, you know. So when I see baseball maybe a farm mother nor we say if he build they will come, you know. So so now if you don't know go here, so they will come. So obviously go on no when you will comment then
because I'm gonna you mean our fees will come up now. We will be legitimate. We will now do what we wasn't thinking of doing before. Things will be now a little bit elevated in every which way.
Oh
now
yes. This construction, step by step. After this construction, I get one more doctor or two more doctors.
Yes.
Dr. Modebe.
So
once I had that,
a nice doctor there too.
Yes. So we have to elevate the fee. You're right, you know. So I get going so I am a meeting. Okay, is where you need the fees. Make we are very good for the poor people, you know, especially low income people. ha na-ejekwa na analụkwa ọgwụ fa. So o nwere any other atụmatụ ọkwụkwọ na enwere ọdịne
biko enwere m a question. Enwere m a question.
Okay.
Amaro, don't worry, I will call Angole. Don't worry. Let's go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I move for adjournment.
Okay, you move for adjournment. Who is second, Dr. AJ, for adjournment?
I'm seconding it.
Okay, very good. Wonderful. So, Patrick, you are welcome. Patrick, but as he late. Patrick, okay,
thank you.
Okay, good. Patrick, no, meeting is some other meeting on. So, where Batazia now? Yes. So, because
can you take in attendance? I don't know if I got everybody.
Okay, go ahead. You got your attendance.
Angona Wendo Agoba Weje yes, Victor and Dr. May. Yeah, I got you. Yes, I got that. Where Ugochukwu the Kwatu too. Ugochukwu the two, Prof. Anisoba, Adon the Megwa, Larry Ezan, Prof. Bushiokwe, Engineer Ragudos, Chief Ozibo, Valentine, and Queen Ozibo. Kedonya miss Lubiko.
Okay, I don't think you mentioned okay.
Okay.
Yes, that's right.
I can move.
Oh, I can move no on the line. Okay. 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 I can move. Yes, Africa.
I get to share on one side.
Ben Anaka.
Yeah, Ben Anaka.
Yes, Ben Anaka. I believe you, Ben. I call you. You is Africa.
I don't know. I get here, Chad. Chad, our. I don't know.
Contractor.
Okay.
Kemode talk para faketa. Akane bu an account who.
And Okwi
Gonabo. Okwi.
Ugonabo, yes.
Okwi Akanebu.
Akanebu.
No, they go more.
Akanebu. Okay. Ugonabo are not here.
Okay, where Ugonabo, right?
Where Ugonabo, yeah.
Okay, because can run not through it one more time.
Okay.
And when Angona, because with all due respect, just last names. Angona, and I go back to Victor and me. Eje, Ugochukwu, Sunday and Angole, Anisoba, Odimegwa, Ezani, Ubuchiekwe, Oragudosi, Ozibo, 2, Okeke, Akanebu, and Anaka. Did I get everybody?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I think so. So, because Daluno, Doctor Odimegwa, in Anyabu, yeah, if gone off the way, Ketan, in on siren. Yeah. Okay. What because do I in a Belani Pico?
Amen. Chineke onye ebere anyị ekene na gị maka ụbọchị nke taata. Ekenekwazi maka ọmarịcha nzukọ anyị nwere n'efifie n'ụwa nke metara ezi mkpụrụ n'uju. Anyị na-ekenekarịsị gị n'ụzọ pụrụ iche maka mbọ niile ndị mmadụ gbara ịfụ na hospital n'ụwa na ife gọọmenti chọrọ n'aka ya na ozuru oke na dị nsọ. Ma ndị na-esi Enugu na-agbara na-abịa, ma ndị na-esi Ọnịcha na-agbara na-abịa. Ma nna anyị ukwu bụ Dr. Ndụwagobe onye bidoro ọsọ ọnụnwa n'ụzọ pụrụ iche. Anyị na-ajọ ka iwere afọ ma kwuo onye ọbụla ụgwọ dịka ọrụ ya si wee dị. Ikwukwaziri na onye ọbụla na-akọ n'ubi gị na-ega na-akọ n'ubi onye afọ mgbe niile ma onye afọ dị ndụ ma ọ nwụrụ anwụ. when I jogi on that in Soki, well, I from Maggie, where one bumble near Basala Hospital no one. I never talk was low wine, I'm Bob on Anye Ballo. Onye ọbụla bịara n'ụlọ ọgwụ ahụ gwọchara were aṅụrị na-ana anyị na-eketa oke na ekpere na ngọzi onye afọ bụ were bịa ọ bụ nya ka anyị ji wee bụrụ ofu n'ime gị bụ Chineke nna anyị onna dị nsọ anyị na-ayọ gị ọ bụrụ na anyị gba mbọ fesia gị onye anyị nwere oke n'ụwa anụnwa site n'inyere onwe anyị aka ka anyị nwee ike iso gị keta oke na anyị eze n'igwe anyị yọrọ ife ndị a site na Kristi dị nwe anyị.
Ugodi ya biko inwe ike inye m a minute ọ bụrụ ife ahụ ezo ezo anwa ike nchọ ịjụ Ugodi ya ị na ya nọzikwa ya
anọkwa m ya
ọkwa ma my nephew afọ anyị kwuru okwu ya maka pharmacist ọ sị m zikwa gị na ya ga-akpọ gị na ya ewetago certificate ya na ya ka dị interested not just I will let you know.
Okay. Okay, so nyeni ya nọmba m ka anyị kpa ya kpọkwa ọkpọ m ọkpọkwa aṅụrị ọ just nye ya nọmba m ka mụ na ya kwugodu.
My wife introduced with authorization, so before nye number, yeah.
Oh, it's okay. His resume and his certificate.
Okay.
We can send there. We take it from there.
Okay, thank you.
That's good. No problem, Dan.
Okay, Dalu. No.